Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Luxury Podcast, your source for all things luxury and lifestyle. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Zoya Bokhoor-Mills on the line, and she's founder over at Healing with Compassion. Zoya, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Adam, and it's a pleasure to be here with you and your listeners.
So excited to get into today's topic. So tips to help you release emotions during stressful times. But before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit more about what you're doing over at Healing with Compassion. So tell us a little bit more about the company, please.
Oh, sure. Thank you. Healing with Compassion is basically about healing grief. And I know grief is something that nobody wants to talk about, but it's a part of life. And for myself, I was guided to this because of my own losses. I lost my husband and my only son within 2 years of each other. And that put me on the path to help other people heal their grief, because healing became my life purpose. And now my mission is to help other mothers who have lost their children, whether young age or older. The effect of that is very hard. And so, but there are ways that you can heal that. There are actions that you can take. And I just want to say that even though this is not a topic that people want to hear about, grief and certain events in our lives actually can take us to a different path and can make us become someone that we've always been, but we never knew that was in us.
Wow. And I think that that's a perfect transition, and that makes you the one I want to talk to you about this. So handling and releasing emotions during stressful times. Where do you want to start with that one?
Oh, well, yes, there's not that much time, but again, it is a topic that we need at any part of our life. Mm-hmm. And so just want to start with saying that stress is created in the body by mind, by thoughts that come through the mind, by thoughts that are painful, unfortunately. And in our lifestyle is about what the mind is saying. We're not connected with the body at all. And that's why I hear a lot about meditation. Meditation can bring a lot of peacefulness into the body. So when stress comes, you want to be aware of what your mind is saying. You want to be aware of the messages that the mind is sending, because mind is designed to get information from the past, and it's always from the past, and fix what's happening to you in the present moment. So when the mind is coming with all these different information, and most of it, unfortunately, is negative, then you actually start feeling this within your body. So by connecting with your breath and actually bringing yourself to the present moment through breathing, and breathing into the body and finding where the stress is living. It could be living in your heart, it could be living in the stomach area, different parts, the back of your neck, and just taking a few moments to be with the breath and to breathe into the area that you feel the stress. And as you're doing that, do that with the intention of releasing, because we are taught to hold on to or just press away feelings that are not good for us. If we feel sad, if we feel stressed, the first thing we do is to shove it away and say, no, I don't want you. And by doing that, that stress actually gets higher and it comes back with more power. And that's why when you don't release the stress, then you feel it at a higher level. So just taking a few moments, breathing into the body, and bringing your attention to the present moment. Feel the feelings that are coming into your body and just with the intention of releasing them. Again, with your breath is the life. It's how we're alive. We breathe, and that's how we're alive. And so just coming into the present moment, feeling yourself sitting on the chair, sitting on the floor, however, wherever you are, feeling yourself where you are, and just paying attention as you're feeling the emotions in your body that, oh, here, I'm in this room. Right now, there's nothing wrong. Right now, there is no stress. So I'm just going to breathe into this stressful feelings in my body and then release it. And that as you do this more often, it becomes easier. So maybe a few times in the beginning, you might feel a little bit not comfortable with that, but as you do it more often, it gets easier. And the more you do it, your body is calmer, and you can actually get to that calm and peaceful place much faster.
Zoya, I know you work with a lot of people, and you've been in working with people for, quite some time as a healer now, going on a decade, at least for what I see, maybe longer, but going on a decade. Where do you find kind of a lot of people, and I know this is going to vary, by the way, and understand each person, I want to oversimplify this, and I understand that each person's different, it has unique needs, but I do also know that when you work with enough people, certain themes tend to arise. Where do you find that people kind of, I don't want to say go wrong, but maybe lose their path on this journey, so to speak? What's one of those road bumps or roadblocks that just typically come up over and over that once that's crossed, it just kind of can open up things for people a little bit more?
Oh, sure. In the journey of going through grief, or just the
correct? Of going through grief. No, of going through grief and the stress process, I guess I should say. Yes,
thank you for asking. That's a really great question. So one of the things that keep coming up, and actually I went through it myself, was that if you lose a loved one, especially a child or a partner or in my case, my husband, there was a lot of not regret, but there was a lot of if I heal my grief, then I am not honoring my son who's passed away, or if I heal my grief, I'm not honoring my partner, and so forth. So that kind of keeps people in the grief because they feel like they need to keep that to keep their connection to their loved one. And to be honest with you, when you are in grief, or when you're not feeling well, and you're suffering through all that, the spiritual connection, the energetical connection that's there is not going to be possible because you need to be free of all of that and being open to receive whatever they're there to show you and to talk to you about. And it is real that, in my opinion, we don't die. The body just goes away, but the spirit really lives on. And sometimes when you're open, you can connect with that loved one who you're missing at some point. And so that's one of the most important parts that I see that people go through.
So, Zoya, if somebody's listening to this and they want more information on connecting with you over at Healing with Compassion, what's the best way for them to reach out?
Okay, thank you. I would invite everyone who would like to contact me, and I would love to hear from you, especially if you're a mother who has lost a child. Please go to my website. It's healingwithcompassion.com, and I can be reached by phone at 866-908-4325, and all of that is on the website. And you can also join the monthly newsletter that I send out that is chock full of information about healing and meditation and things like that. So I would love to hear from you.
That's awesome. Well, Zoya, it's been great having you on the show today. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing tips on releasing emotions during stressful times and also in grief. So thank you for that. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. Leave us a review on the Apple iTunes Store. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Luxury, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments in the video. I mean, love to know what kind of projects and what kind of things you have going on in your world. And Zoya, thanks again for coming on the show.